From Esther to Deborah, stories untold, queens of courage, fearless and bold. Their fight is ours, the crown still stands, purpose in our hearts, power in our hands, crowned and called.
Welcome to Crowned and Called, Stories of Purpose, Women of Power. This channel is your space for inspiration, empowerment, and transformation. We share powerful stories of faith, purpose, and resilience, spotlighting women who are boldly walking in their calling and creating real impact. If you're looking for motivation, spiritual growth, or a reminder of your God-given worth, you're exactly where you need to be. Subscribe and join a community where purpose meets power. Your story matters. Here. Fourth series of 10 powerful women in the Bible story 4, Mary Magdalene, the woman who was redeemed.
She had 7 demons. Not 1, not 2, 7. They labeled her. They whispered about her. The world wrote her off. But Jesus, he didn't avoid her. He delivered her. Because being broken doesn't mean you're buried. It means you're ripe for a breakthrough. Today, you'll hear the story of Mary Magdalene, a woman who went from shame to strength, from lost to called. Mary Magdalene's story begins in a place of deep, overwhelming darkness, a place so desperate that it's hard to imagine any hope beyond it. The Bible tells us she had 7 demons. Not 1, not 2, but 7. This detail is more than just a number. It reveals the intense spiritual and emotional bondage she was trapped in. These demons symbolize a range of suffering, fear, torment, addiction, despair, and rejection. Imagine living with that heavy burden every day, feeling isolated and broken inside and out. Society's judgment only made her prison walls thicker. Mary was a woman the world whispered about behind closed doors. She was labeled by her past, defined by her pain, and written off by those around her. The townspeople likely shunned her, keeping their distance, their eyes filled with suspicion or disdain. She was isolated not only by the demons inside her, but by a community that failed to see her true worth. Her name, Mary Magdalene, would have carried the weight of all those whispers and shame, a woman marked by suffering, pain, and brokenness. Yet, into that darkness, Jesus came. And he didn't turn away. He didn't see her as society did, a lost, broken woman unworthy of grace. Instead, he looked deep into her soul and saw a child of God waiting to be set free. The moment Jesus cast out those 7 demons, it was not merely a physical or spiritual deliverance. It was a radical act of love and restoration. He reached into the deepest pit of her pain and pulled her out. This wasn't just freedom, it was a new beginning. Mary Magdalene was born again that day. Her story is a testimony to the power of Jesus' grace to transform the most broken lives. The chains that once held her captive shattered, and with them came a profound shift. From despair to hope, from shame to dignity, from lost to found. What makes Mary's story so extraordinary is not just that she was delivered, but what she became afterward. Many who experience deliverance might quietly slip away, ashamed or afraid to live boldly. But Mary Magdalene did the opposite. She became one of Jesus' most devoted followers, walking closely with him through the highs and lows of his ministry. While others doubted and scattered, Mary stayed. She was present at moments when fear and doubt could have easily overwhelmed her. She witnessed miracles, heard teachings that challenged everything she knew, and soaked in the radical love Jesus showed to the marginalized and the rejected. She was transformed not just internally, but became a pillar of faith, an example of devotion and courage. Mary's loyalty was tested in ways few others experienced. When Jesus was arrested, many fled in fear. When he was crucified, most followers hid in the shadows, but Mary Magdalene stood by him, unwavering. She witnessed his suffering, his death, and endured the heartbreak of that dark day. Yet, even in sorrow, her faith did not falter. Her deliverance prepared her for a mission unlike any other. After the crucifixion, when all hope seemed lost, Mary was the first to experience the miracle of resurrection. She was the first to enter the empty tomb, the first to see the risen Savior. This moment forever changed the course of history. And Mary Magdalene was entrusted with the incredible responsibility of sharing this news with the world. Her story is a profound reminder that deliverance is not simply about being freed from bondage. It is about being called into a new life with a new purpose. It is about becoming bold where once there was fear and shining light where once there was darkness. Mary Magdalene's life speaks directly to anyone who has ever felt broken, rejected, or unworthy. It tells us that no past is too dark, no pain too deep, and no person too lost for God's redeeming power to reach. Her journey from brokenness to boldness is a testament to the fact that God's grace transforms not only our circumstances, but also our identity and our destiny. When you face your own battles, when the weight of your past threatens to define you, remember Mary Magdalene. Remember that deliverance means not only freedom from what holds you back, but also a calling forward, a calling to step into the light, to follow boldly, and to share your story as a testament to God's power to heal, restore, and use broken lives for His glory. Her transformation reminds us that God doesn't just save us, He sends us. He doesn't just heal us, He equips us. And He doesn't just love us despite our past. He loves us because of the future He's planned for us. Mary Magdalene's life teaches us that no darkness is too deep for God's light to penetrate, no brokenness too great for His healing touch, and no story too far gone for a new chapter of purpose and power. Mary Magdalene's story is often misunderstood and misrepresented. Throughout history, people have remembered her by her past, the demons she was delivered from, the brokenness she endured, and the whispered rumors that clung to her name. But history, and even popular culture, have often boxed Mary into a narrow, limiting role, as if her past defined her identity forever. Yet the truth is far more powerful and far more freeing. God doesn't remember Mary Magdalene by her past. God remembers her presence, and that presence changed everything. Mary was the first person at the empty tomb, arriving early before anyone else. She wasn't there out of curiosity. She was there out of love and devotion. She came to mourn, to grieve, but she left with a message that would change the world forever. Mary was the first to see the risen Jesus, alive, victorious over death and sin. This wasn't just a casual encounter, it was a divine appointment. The risen Savior chose Mary Magdalene to be His first messenger, His apostle to the apostles. Imagine what that meant. In a culture that often dismissed women's voices, Jesus elevated Mary's voice above all others. He entrusted her with the gospel's most sacred news, that He was alive, that death had been conquered, and that hope was real. This moment reframes Mary's entire story. She wasn't just a healed woman, she was a herald of resurrection. She wasn't a victim of her past, she was a victor with a voice. This reframe teaches us a vital lesson. Don't let the world's labels define who you are. Don't let the mistakes, failures, or hardships of your past box you in or limit your future. God sees beyond all that. He sees your presence, the person you are becoming, the purpose you're stepping into, the light you carry, even when you feel broken inside. Mary Magdalene's life is a call to live in this truth. It's a call to embrace the power of resurrection in your own story. It means standing boldly at your own empty tomb moments, times when you face loss, disappointment, or uncertainty, and trusting that God is doing something new. It means speaking words of hope and life, even when it feels like all is lost. When people try to define you by your past, remember Mary. When the world whispers lies about who you are or what you can become, remember that God's memory is different. God remembers your presence, your faith, your courage, your willingness to follow Him no matter what. You are not the mistakes you made yesterday. You are not the wounds that once hurt you. You are not the shame that tried to silence you. You are a beloved child of God, called to rise, to speak, to live boldly in the new identity He has given you. So, take this reframe to heart. Your past does not determine your destiny. God's grace rewrites your story every day. Like Mary Magdalene, you are called not just to survive, but to speak resurrection, to be a living testimony that no tomb can hold back the power of new life. You may have a past, but God is ready to use it for your purpose. Subscribe to Crowned and Called, Stories of Purpose. Women of Power. Your breakthrough is closer than you think.